What was the civil rights movement? The easy answer, and like most easy answers, the wrong one, is that it was a movement to secure the rights of American citizens for Black Americans. Clearly it was that, but it was much, much more. The struggle that the Black community and its allies waged, that we call the civil rights movement, deepened the currents of American democracy for all Americans. None of the entitlements and rights that generations of immigrants coming to this country since enjoy, all of them were struggled for and won by the struggle of Black Americans. The rights of women was a direct consequence of the civil rights movement. The rights of minorities, people with disabilities, and so forth and so on. So that the civil rights movement was not simply a struggle for Black rights, though that was at the apex of it, but it was a struggle for the democratic rights of all Americans and an enrichment of the democratic heritage of this country. So far as this specific accomplishment, the civil rights movement, the nonviolent direct action civil rights movement of the South, which is what we really mean when we talk about the civil rights movement, achieved its legislative agenda with the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which interestingly enough didn't include anything about voting, so we had to go back to the well one more time and get the Voting Rights Act of 1965 after the Selma March. With that, and with all the elements included in the Civil Rights Act, housing, education, etc., the infrastructure of American apartheid, white supremacy, and Jim Crow was destroyed in the country. The democratic process was opened up. And with the coming of the Black Power movement, the Black community was encouraged to get involved into the political process. Black congressmen, Black mayors, Black so-and-so. The civil rights movement didn't integrate the country as we discussed before, but it accomplished a great many things. It opened up opportunity in education to Black and minority communities. So in a remarkably short period of time, you saw generals emerge and head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. You saw the CEOs first of branches, departments of Fortune 500 companies, then of actually Fortune 500 companies. And you have a Black president. So all those things are extremely dramatic changes. But for the masses of Black people who still are subject to inferior education, who still the victims of legal and police discrimination across the nation. So there's a great deal of change, and there's a great deal that is intractable, that has become worse.